Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Iyun with Benzion. Today's daf is Nazir daf Chavtet, Nazir number 29. I want to talk today about, this is a topic which, it's not just relevant to Maseches Nazir, it's relevant to the whole Torah, basically. It's a Shas topic, I'd like to say. The question is, Katan Shagil L'Chinuch, Katan that reaches the mitzvah of chinuch, right, where he's obligated, he knows what he's doing a little bit, he can understand. The Gemara in Daf Mem Beis and Sukkah says that once a child reaches the age where he knows what he's doing, when he waves a lulav, or he knows what tzitzis are, he knows what tefillin is, then you already have to buy him tefillin, you have to teach him say Kriyat Shema, you have to put tzitzis on him, you have to let him shake a lulav. It's a mitzvah d'Rabbanan. Katan shekil l'chin. Before he reached the age, around 6 or 7 years old, before he reaches that age, there's no obligation, even in d'Rabbanan. Once that he reaches that age, according to almost all the opinions, it's d'Rabbanan. There's a machlokas in brachos between Rashi and Tosas whether that obligation is obligation d'Rabbanan on the father, or even at the son has an obligation d'Rabbanan before he's bar mitzvah, not d'oraisa. You don't bar mitzvah. Bar mitzvah is the age when you become bar mitzvah midoraisa. Your chayav mitzvah is d'oraisa. Our Gemara gets into this briefly because the Gemara talks about a concept of Maseches Nazir where a father has an ability to accept a Nazir for his son, even once the kid is Yigiyah L'Chinuch. According to Rabbi Yochanan, this is halacha l'Moshe Sinai. According to Reish Lakish, he says the idea is it's part of chinuch, as I mentioned before in the Masechta, that there's two types of Nazir. So there's a Nazir that's a positive mitzvah, and a Nazir which is an Aveira. A Nazir which is an Aveira, which is a type of Nazir where you took for a long period of time, where you're hurting yourself. So that's an Aveira. But Nazirus where you take for 30 days, a Stam Nazirus for 30 days, that could be a good thing. Because you want to live a life where it's the opposite. 30 days you get a haircut, you're well groomed, you're not drinking alcohol, you're a teetotaler, you're somebody who's not going to come in contact and go to cemeteries. You're living a nice pampered lifestyle. So it's a nice thing once in a while to treat yourself. So it could be a mitzvah. So for that, in that regard, the father has the ability to mechanech and mitzvos. So according to Reish Lakish, the whole idea is d'Rabbanan. The Gemara proceeds to find difficulties with Reish Lakish, that it's d'Rabbanan. It asks a bunch of questions on the opinion of Reish Lakish that it's d'Rabbanan. There's a problem. If it's d'Rabbanan, there's a lot of problems. Chulin la'azara, hakafas harosh. There's problems, right? So one of the questions, like I just mentioned, is the Gemara has according to Rabbi Yochanan, who says d'Oraisa, the father can make his son a Nazir. A lot to discuss Rabbi Yochanan Shita. We possibly like Rabbi Yochanan technically. It's Halacha Sinai that it's a d'Oraisa Nazir. So we have to deal with exactly how his son becomes a Nazir if he's not of bar mitzvah age yet. But according to Reish Lakish, the Gemara deals with extensively over here, it's part of the mitzvah of chinuch and it's d'Rabbanan. So one of the questions the Gemara asks is, after he completes his Nazir as the son, right? He has to do a kavas harosh. He has to shave his entire head. Shaving your entire head is a problem. It's an Isser d'Oraisa in the Torah. Lo sakifu ba'as roshcha, Parshas Kedoshim. You can't cut off the peyos over here. You can't cut off the peyos. The Hasidim keep only this part. They shave the rest. But technically, you can have this hair over here. There's nothing wrong with that. You just can't shave this part. If you shave just this part, that according to everyone is Isser d'Oraisa. So at the end of your Nazir, you shave your entire head. If you shave your entire head, you violate Isser d'Oraisa. So that's the Gemara's question. And the Gemara answers, no, that Reish Lakish holds that a kafas kol harosh is d'Rabbanan. Even though if I would just shave these peyos, that's Isser d'Oraisa, there's an opinion that if I shave my entire head together, even though included in that is the peyos, I only violate Isser d'Rabbanan. That's only Isser d'Rabbanan. The Torah was only talking about making a haircut like this, where you only have hair here, and you don't have hair, like I guess a crew cut or an extreme fade like that. So that is considered to be an Isser d'Oraisa. Otherwise, it's d'Rabbanan. So okay, that's the Gemara's question. What the Gemara's answer? What's the question, right? We're talking about a katan over here, right? He's shaving his head, So he's not mitzvah, just like he's not mitzvah in mitzvah d'Oraisa, he's bar mitzvah. Presumably, he's also not mitzvah in averos midoraisa. He's not muzar to do an avera midoraisa when he's a katan. But we see nonetheless that the Gemara's question is, since it's only d'Rabbanan, l'chanim and mitzvahs, how do you violate Isser d'Oraisa? The Gemara answer is they're both d'Rabbanan. Kavos kol harosh is d'Rabbanan. A d'Rabbanan essay of a d'Rabbanan is dochel lo say of d'Rabbanan, just like essay d'Oraisa dochel lo say d'Oraisa. So the question is, what's the question? Why is it d'Oraisa? It's a katan over here. The katan is only d'Rabbanan. So the answer is obviously. So the article says the answer to this question. I'll read the article. Number 13 on 29A2. Note number 13, although the child is a minor, not punishable for his transgression, the rabbis would not have required him to do something that is forbidden to an adult. This is in Meiri, see also Tosarid, she's the Lechachme Evru, some French, I don't know, and Birkas Rosh, maybe they all say the same answer. Yes, it's Derabanan, but for some reason, the Rabbanan never would have made him violate something for which for a Gadol would be Daraisa. But the simple answer is that it's Daraisa for a Katan. And I have proof to this, many different proofs. First of all, there's a proof. The bracha, Baruch Shepatrani Me'onsho Shalzeh, right? What's the bracha? When a child becomes bar mitzvah, you say the father says a bracha, Baruch Shepatrani Me'onsho Shalzeh. He doesn't say, right? So the onesh, right? Well, a child is mitzvah and lavim, right? He's mitzvah midaraisa. I'm positing over here. He can't do Yisurim daraisa, and the reason is because a child gets Yetzer Hara from birth, right? He doesn't get Yetzer Tov until bar mitzvah. This is the Sfarim say. Yetzer Tov he gets at bar mitzvah. Yetzer Hara he's already from birth, so therefore he's already working with the Yetzer Hara. He has to combat the Yetzer Hara. Oh, he is a minor. Maybe before he gets l'chinuch, he's not mentally competent to battle the Yetzer Hara. Once he gets l'chinuch. So therefore, the Averos Daraisa, he has to fight the Yetzer Hara. The Yetzer Tov is where he wants to do good. So Hashem can't be Mitzavi Midaraisa in mitzvos Midaraisa until he gets the Yetzer Tov, which tells him to do the mitzvos. So it makes sense in that respect that he should be Mitzvah Daraisa once he gets once he gets Lechinach, he already can't do Yisurim Midaraisa. He can't do Yisurim. There's Gemaras in Baba Kama, which says that a child stole, it was a katan. Right? And the question was, he didn't have to pay until he was a gadol. When he became a gadol, he had to pay. So you see, he violated the Daraisa of Gezel. The question is, you have to pay. The onish, Chazal didn't impose onshim, right? He doesn't get punished until he's bar mitzvah, right? And that's what the bracha, Baruch Shepatrani Me'on Shel Zeh, it sounds like Baruch Shepatrani Me'on Shel Zeh is that the son is violating Yisurim Daraisa, just the father, until he becomes bar mitzvah, he can't get punished for it. Right, so now once he gets bar mitzvah, the child is punished himself for doing that various that he did when he was younger. Right, we're talking about the various he did when he was younger. Right, until he's 20, he can't have mechayev kares, but other avera like bringing malchus and things like that, technically a child can get. Maybe perhaps for averos when he's a minor, because you're already mitzvah once you get l'chinuch. It's mash from this gemara, you're mitzvah midaraisa. Right. The one last proof to this is the famous question that Rav Akiva Eiger asked in the beginning of Maseches Sukkah on Daf Beis Amud Beis. When Hilni Malka, right? She was a mother, and she, the Gemara is trying to prove whether a sukkah was kosher or not, and apparently her children were eating out of the sukkah, right? We're eating out of the sukkah, so they're eating out of the sukkah. So the Gemara proves, and she tried to make sure that the sukkah was kosher. They'd be eating in the sukkah. So it seems from the Gemara that a mother, right? There was no father around. The mother was mechanech the child in mitzvos. But our Gemara on Chav Terem and Aleph says at the beginning, even according to Rish Lakish, right? It's mitzvah of chinuch. Why can't the mother make her son a Nazir? Because the Gemara says a mother is not mitzvah to mechanech her children. What do you mean mother is not mitzvah to mechanech her children? The Gemara in Sukkah says Hilni Amalka was mechanech her children. So the answer is, I asked this question from Gemara Nazir, or this Gemara in Nazir. The answer is that they're talking about Isser, right? Eating outside of a sukkah is Isser. You're not allowed to eat outside of a sukkah if you have it, right? Even a Gilach, you're not allowed to eat out of the sukkah. Here we're talking about positive mitzvahs. There are positive mitzvahs. A mother's not mitzvah to train her children to do positive mitzvahs. That's on the father to do. However, since the child violates Yisur Neraisa by themselves, so therefore the mothers obviously would help them by instructing them not to do averos. Eating outside of a sukkah is an isser essay, right? If you're eating bread outside of a sukkah, it's an isser essay, which is isser midoraisa, right? It's not a lot, but it's an isser, right? You're not allowed to eat out of the sukkah, so therefore she is responsible mechanech them to warn them they shouldn't violate the sunnah midoraisa, which makes perfect sense, as opposed to all the Gemara here is saying the mitzvah of Nazir, which is a positive mitzvah, that only the father is mitzvah of the Rabbanah to teach him, and not the mother. Hope you enjoyed today's shir. It's really eye-opening, and I believe it's true. I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.